It's move-in day on this old boat. This should be the fun part. Let's get putting all this pontoon furniture on this boat. All right, so I think you guys saw me earlier taking a bunch of measurements with my handy dandy tape measure here. I was taking notes on my notepad of all the different measurements of the boat. Things you want to measure are the overall width and length of the boat. Then the second measurement is the width and length of the rail, of inside the rail. So once you're inside your pontoon fencing, you want that width, that length. You also want to mark down where your doors are and the size of your doors. It's so helpful, almost imperative, to use a configurator before purchasing your pontoon furniture. The configurator will show you what it will look like and will make sure that using your parameters, all the sizes of the different furniture will actually fit. So I'm opening up the configurator now. The first thing that it asks you is if you want to configure sunset furniture or Rockport furniture. Right now, I want to use the sunset furniture. I think the blue and gray will go really good with this boat. So the first question it's asked me is the length of the deck. I have that measurement, 289 inches. So 289. The deck, this is a standard in the pontoon industry, 8 feet. That's easy, right? So now the inside rail on the fence. The inside rail on the fence is, all right, it's the total length of the boat minus 53 inches. So we had 289 minus 53. We have 236. 226. Let me double check my math there. Nope, I was right the first time, 236. The fence width, we found 3 inches on either side of that 8 feet. So that's why 7 foot 6 inches. You don't have to worry about this front rail to deck one. So my front corner radius, while it does look like it's a small radius, we call that a square corner. So what we have is a square corner. The back is also square corners. You can see over here on the graphic, because at this point, you can see on the screen kind of what our boat looks like. So Lippert's done a really cool thing in the configurator now where it'll show you some standard configurations you could choose from. Like we could just pick one of these if we were bad at making decisions, or if we saw any of these that, hey, I hadn't thought of configuring it like this, like a fishing chair on every corner. That's pretty cool. But we're gonna do a custom layout. So with the custom layout, we start with the boat from scratch. Starts with a helm, you need that. So you'll see the helm was now dropped onto the boat, and I'm gonna drag it over, put it into position. Now for chairs, we're doing a helm chair, and that one we'll put right behind the helm. But unique to ours, we're going to, see where it says add additional helm chair? Yes. We're gonna take that helm chair, we'll rotate it. Let's rotate it, no, the other way. And we're gonna move that over here. And then at the bottom of that, it says add an additional helm chair. Yup, that's our third helm chair. We'll rotate that one, put that into position. Now you can see where all 3 of our helm chairs are going, and I'm gonna click continue. So now it's asking about corners. So we elected to use a 31.5 corner base in the back corner of the boat. So I'm pushing that into position. See how it just goes right into the corner? It's perfect. Add an additional, nope, that's the only corner we're using on this boat. Straight benches. We're gonna do a 30-inch straight bench. See how it put it on there perpendicular to what we need. So we need to rotate that 90 degrees clockwise. They have rotate clockwise. There we go. Slide it into position. We're also going to have a 48-inch straight bench. And that we're going to rotate the other way. So we're going to rotate that counterclockwise and slide that into position. Now, anytime you use our helm, I recommend using an angled helm bench up against it. So I'm going to click the 24 here. You can see it there moved over, but it needs to be rotated as well. So I'm going to move that counterclockwise. And then I'm going to slide it into position. See, as I slide it up to the helm, if it turns red, that's too close. Green, right there. So then I can take my 48 and slide it up to there. As soon as it turns red, I want it green, right there. Okay. We are also going to do a 24-inch straight. And we're going to take that and put that on the back there. Okay. And now we're done with our, sorry, it's a little loud in the shop here. We are now done with our angled and straight benches, so we'll hit continue. We don't need any curved benches. We're gonna click continue again. And now the chases. So we're gonna use a left chase, turned 180 degrees. So that's clicking that twice. And you push that up against there. And then we're also gonna do a right chase. And we're gonna rotate that. And then we'll push everything tight to our corners, which ends up being our front corner and our back corner. You always need the angled helm cushion to go on the helm. We're also going to add a couple cup holders. Let's do 2 cup holders and an angled helm. I'm going to click continue. And now you'll notice the final thing it shows on the screen is your part list. So now you can take this parts list and you can go to your trusted local dealer. You can order this stuff online, anywhere quality marine goods are sold. You can also type in your email address down here at the bottom, and then it will email you this same parts number list and this 3D image over here. So at this point, we can look at our 3D image, we can move it around, and get an idea of what the configuration is going to look like. So now that we have it all together, let's save this information. We're going to click save and place our order and get back to work. And that starts the back lounge area of the boat. So we like to get one piece in, move on from there, then get everything situated and screw it down. So now we're bringing up the Lippert Sunset Series helm. It's all rotomold, so it's very lightweight. It's the most modern aftermarket helm I've seen on the market. And then we have for it these angled benches. This is gonna go right up along there. And then down there we'll bring up and we'll bolt down here the lounge pad that comes all the way up here. And it creates a great backrest. As you can see, that went pretty quick. You get a fair idea of what it's gonna look like. What we would do next is start in the back corner here. We've got this fitted nice, and I would put 3 or 4 screws in the base here, and then that'll be down. And then the next one, I mount to this one, then to the ground, and I just keep going down the line, and it goes very quickly. But at this point, we're missing our pedestals for the helm chair and for our 2 captain's chairs up there. So we're gonna go get those right now, and we'll be back. As always, it took a little longer at the parts store, and we spent a little more time there than we expected. But we got, I think, the rest of the parts we'll need. I was at a boat dealer last night, trusted friend of mine, and through some conversations, I found out that there is a better way to be doing some of these things. Notice here the door does not fit and touches on the bottom. It's because I'm missing what they call rail spacers. So we're gonna have to go back and put these underneath, and that's gonna improve the fitment of the rail and allow water to escape underneath, preventing rot and make the door fit perfectly. It's also important with boat projects to be ready and willing to adapt. And so we found here that we have a small radius and not a straight corner. And so this just isn't fitting well. And so we're gonna go with our right armrest, which is radiused perfect for this. We also have this is a 30-inch bench, and we're gonna replace it with a 36-inch bench so that this ends up all the way at the door. And you'll see here, the instruction is still sitting on it, that I think this end radius bench, not assembled yet, really finishes this off. So we're adding this as well. The helm, in order to get the helm in the exact spot that it was before, we also need to come back another 10 inches. So we're gonna switch out our 24 angle for a 36 angle. So that'll put us in the right place. So again, it's smart to be able to adapt. It's good to take advice from other people. And once you lay everything out, which is why we haven't screwed it down yet, find out we would like a few different pieces. In one of our previous parts, you saw me taking apart that old dash that was falling apart. We had the shifter cable, and we had to Google even how to uninstall it. Much easier to install now that I know how to uninstall it. So we'll just be reinstalling the old steering system here, reinstalling the shifter, and then Lippert's made the Sunset Series dash really cool in the fact that instead of installing our switches in the dash and having to climb in there and everything, we're gonna remove this panel, we're gonna install the switches in the panel, and then just come put the panel back in the boat.
Next time on This Old Boat.
In the spirit of not giving up, we're gonna start right where we left off. This is actually a 𝙏𝙤𝙖 brand power bimini, the 1000 series. And you'll see how much added shade that gives and how easy it is to store and deploy.